Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we ask you again to please take your seats. We are ready to proceed Again, welcome and thank you for being here for this wonderful day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Maya Reynolds.
Left face. Present colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order.
Turn your attention to the sky as we have a Phoenix Air flyover.
Ready. Ho. Ready. tail. Right face. Forward march. One time. Forward. Forward.
Be seated. Now introducing Atlanta's 61st mayor, Mayor Andre Dickens.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is quite a day for the city of Atlanta. Thank you all for being here. I've been told that my job here today is to acknowledge all of the people who have played a part in getting us to this opening day. And I have every intention of doing that. But I got something to say first. Getting here has not been an easy journey. We did not expect it would be, but a number of factors made it more difficult than it should have been. I thought long and hard about how much of this speech I would devote to what we had to overcome to get this facility done. Whether I would speak about the opposition, and to be clear, I support anybody's right to oppose any platform that I stand on. But there are rules to this. The lies, the misinformation, the disinformation, the very real violence. But our perseverance to see it through for the people of Atlanta now and into the future cannot be denied. So I will not relive nor recount or breathe any life into that past. We are here now. And so I look out into this crowd and I see folks who know that I will never give up on anything that I believe in. And I, along with most of the folks in the city of Atlanta, believe in the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. And guess what? I know that those folks, along with some of all of y'all, have our back. Now, let's get on to those acknowledgments, because that is why we're here, to acknowledge this truly big group project. The city of Atlanta acquired this land more than 100 years ago. Then, in 1974, Mayor Maynard Jackson supported efforts to make this the home of the Atlanta Police Academy. But it was around 10 years ago when the seed of an idea was planted that has brought us to this spot today. So I must acknowledge Dave Wilkinson and the Atlanta Police Foundation for making an early commitment to turn that idea into this training center. We're also happy to have Governor Kemp join us today, along with Attorney General Chris Carr, both strong and vocal supporters of this training center. We owe a debt of thanks to the former mayors who supported this project and moved it along during the early stages. Members of the Atlanta City Council that I see here today, both past and present, former police chiefs and fire chiefs, and Chief Darren Schierbaum and Chief Rod Smith, their leadership teams, as well as the men and women under their command. I'm talking about Atlanta's hard-working public safety professionals who have made do with training facilities that were inadequate and inefficient. Well, those days are finally over. We are grateful to be here today with our law enforcement partners from around the metro area and from the state of Georgia who have offered their support and manpower along the way. We have a lot of state leaders, state legislators that are here, Fulton and DeKalb County and adjacent county leaders that are here today, standing with us now and in the past. I'd also like to acknowledge the Atlanta Committee for Progress. Its chairman, Michael Russell, is here with us today, and other members of the ACP, and all the members of our corporate, civic, and philanthropic communities. Thank you to the members of the Community Stakeholder Advisory Committee and the South River Forest and Public Safety Training Center Community Task Force. We listen to these community members, and I want to assure you we will continue to be good neighbors and build strong community relationships. We have a number of plans in the works. We are currently putting the finishing touches on the trail system around the ponds that are visible from Key Road. We're adding bridges and overlooks, and we expect to have that work completed just in time for summer break. We're launching the Community Safety Ambassador Program. That is a collaboration amongst police, fire, and E911 that offers civilians a better understanding of the collective public safety experience. And we are undertaking a master planning process for the remaining land surrounding the training center. We'd like to see additional trail systems and green space, as well as public programming that includes historic and remembrance places. And just a few other acknowledgments. Nearly all of our City of Atlanta departments had a hand in making the training center a reality. All of my cabinet members, including our finance, our law, and dean teams, communications, sustainability, equity, and all. Of course, there were the numerous developers, builders, and contractors who were able to roll with the challenges and get this project completed. I would like to thank Brassfield and Gorey and Brent Scarborough specifically for their willingness to build this facility at cost. Let's give them a round of applause for that. When everything is tallied up, this development will have taken about $118 million of public-private funding. A new estimate shows that if we were starting today to rebuild this facility, it would cost more than $300 million. And it would be unlikely that it would get as much private support as we have gotten in this public-private partnership. And so as for the acknowledgments, I hope I did not overlook any person or group who helped make today possible. If I did, it was certainly not intentional. And so in 2020, the public had had enough. Residents were crying out for more training for police officers, and I was right there with them, marching in the streets as a city council member, asking for more training and modifications to standard operating procedures. I supported this vision of the training center back then, and I certainly support it now. As I close, to the brave men and women of APD and AFRD, and to all collaborating partners, this is your place to perfect how you serve the people. To all the drivers of city vehicles and public works, parks and rec, watershed, etc., this is the place that you perfect how you navigate these streets. And to the people of Metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia, this is the place that you experience the perfection of service to you. So enjoy the trails, enjoy the ponds, enjoy the trees, enjoy the animals, free classes, and the benefits of a world-class training for your public safety officers. Thank you all for being here at the start of this new chapter. Give yourselves a round of applause for all that you've done in this group project. And so now I must bring up a leader who has stood right beside me. Together we believe in public safety. And he's shown up for public safety, and he's a true partner in public safety for the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta. Please get on your feet and give a rousing round of applause for the 83rd governor of the state of Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp.
Well, thank you for that, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I want to let the record reflect it started raining when the mayor was speaking. It is an honor to be with you all this morning to mark an incredible milestone for this city, our state, and for public safety. Mayor, thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you for your leadership, and congratulations to you and your team. It is an honor for First Lady Marty Kemp and me to be with you all today as we close a long and at times turbulent chapter, but also to celebrate this new chapter with the dedicated, hardworking, and unwavering men and women who are to thank for this state-of-the-art facility. I also want to thank my fellow constitutional officer, Chris Carr, for being with us today and for him being in this fight with so many of us. There are many people, as the mayor said, that deserve recognition for this historic achievement, but I especially want to thank Mayor Dickens his leadership team, Odie, the city council members who all voted to fund the project, Chief Schierbaum, the entire Atlanta Police Department, the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department, Chief Smith, Corrections Chief Elder Dancy, and so many other leaders from both the city and the state who are here with us today that made all this possible. And certainly all the people that the mayor mentioned, including Dave Wilkinson and the entire board of the Atlanta Police Foundation, and all the philanthropic and corporate partners who provided such incredible support for this facility. Their vision, coordination, and tireless commitment to seeing this project through to completion is a major reason why we're here today. All of those I just named and their families have endured threats, personal attacks, and years of unfounded and sometimes violent challenges to this project by state-of-the-art, organized, and well-funded activists and criminals. And yet, through it all, they remained strong, they remained undaunted, and they did the right thing even when it was not easy. And even though they faced incredible pressure to bend to the demands of extremist voices who do not represent this community, our capital city, or our state. I always say the greatest responsibility entrusted to us as elected officials is ensuring the safety of those we represent, all of them, not just the ones that voted for us. Today isn't just about opening a facility. It's about fulfilling the most fundamental and crucial promise to the people who elected us to be here. It's about supporting the men and women on the ground who carry out that mission every single day. Our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, our EMTs, our corrections officers, our 911 operators, and every single person who answers the call to face danger so that the rest of us do not have to. We promise to stand behind them, not just with our words, but with action. And today, when we cut the ribbon on this training center, another promise will be delivered. Just like so many places across the country did during and after the pandemic, the metro Atlanta area saw increased crime levels and faced real public safety challenges several years ago. Whether it was bringing back order to our streets during civil unrest, countering the rise of gang violence, or confronting the violence that targeted this project, and the people simply trying to do their jobs by building it, we have seen over and over again why we need well-trained, well-equipped law enforcement and first responders in our communities. Almost 5 years ago, the City of Atlanta, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, and state law enforcement agencies joined together to meet that moment by creating the Crime Suppression Unit. Together, we stood up to those who were terrorizing our streets. We brought law and order back to our neighborhoods. We took down violent criminals, street racers, drug dealers, and gang members. We curbed crime, and the numbers speak for themselves. Our Crime Suppression Unit operations here in the metro area have led to the arrest of over 1,200 wanted persons, 47 of them murder suspects, 511 drug arrests, and the recovery of over 1,000 vehicles, stolen vehicles. And as the mayor talks often about, overall crime is down 5% in the city. Robberies are down 15%, and homicide is down 8%. And even more significant, homicides have decreased by 26% since 2022. All of this shows that we have fought the good fight, and we are still fighting it. That work will only become more critical as we keep tackling violent crime and prepare to host global events like the 2026 World Cup. And that's what this project was always about from day one, providing better training for first responders so that they are not only ready to meet the unprecedented public safety needs of today, but also well ahead of the curve for many new challenges of tomorrow. And just like the crime suppression unit that came before it, the APD Buckhead Precinct Station that we were proud to join with Mayor Dickens in opening in 2022, and the brand new Georgia State Patrol Post that we opened earlier this month on the very grounds of the Governor's Mansion. Today is another reminder of what we can accomplish when we work together to keep our hardworking citizens safe. The Atlanta Public Safety Training Center reflects a shared goal, making our communities safer while standing firmly behind those who answer the call to serve and protect. With this asset, we are setting the standard in placing Atlanta at the forefront of public safety innovation. At the heart of all this is the brave men and women carrying out that work every single day. And I want to express our gratitude on behalf of a grateful state for your courage in serving your fellow Georgians. These are heroes who choose to wear the badge. They run to danger when others run away. They step up when their communities need them the most, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. We have been painfully reminded of that in recent weeks with the law enforcement officers in our state literally under fire, with multiple officers still recovering and the tragic loss of 2 recently in the line of duty. Lieutenant Helio Garcia with the South Fulton Police Department just a few days ago, and Deputy Sheriff Brandon Sykes with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. These husbands and fathers, sons and brothers gave up their lives protecting others and upholding peace. And yet there are still some in the city and in the media who refuse to acknowledge how important those in law enforcement are and how brave their service truly is. Out of everyone here today, it is the men and women who choose to work in public safety that deserve our most thanks. And so as we cut this ribbon, we're also saying thank you and reminding everyone who wants to go after any member of law enforcement or our first responders in our state that here in Georgia, we will have your back. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless the peacekeepers. Thank you.
Atlanta's 22nd Chief of Fire and Rescue, Roderick Smith.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day it is in Atlanta. It is my pleasure to be here today representing the men and the women of Atlanta Fire Rescue Department, and I continue my list of thank yous because thank you is not enough for what you have done for the city of Atlanta. I start with our mayor and our COO, as well as the cabinet for Atlanta working side by side, and thank you for pushing this vision. Thank you, Dave Wilkerson and the Atlanta Police Foundation for making this vision a reality. Thank you always for your support from our Atlanta Fire Rescue Foundation, our council members who've stood in the wings to make sure that Atlanta Fire Rescue has what they need. Brassfield and Gorey and the construction teams, we appreciate you abundantly. Alan Williams, thank you for constantly pushing and calling and make sure that we had what we need. And Chief Dancy, thank you for your friendship and your partnership. And if I've left somebody off this list, blame my head and not my heart, and just know that Atlanta Fire Rescue appreciates your loyalty to us and your commitment to the city of Atlanta. It is with deep pride that I stand here today, and I welcome you to the grand opening of our Atlanta Public Safety Training Campus. This marks a moment more than a new building. It is a historic step forward for our city and every man and woman that will come through the doors and put on a uniform to serve the city of Atlanta. As a lifelong firefighter, I can tell you that this is long overdue. For more than 30 years now, the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department and Police Department have trained separately, and oftentimes making the best of what we had, never complaining always committed, but often constrained. Well, today, that changes. For the first time, as you look around, you will see Atlanta Fire Rescue and Atlanta Police Department members training side by side, under one roof on one campus. It's a transformation in how we prepare, how we collaborate, and how we serve. This center was truly built for the future, and we thank you for that vision. A future where integrated training means ultimately a faster response, smarter strategies, and safer communities in our city. On this campus, you will see the next generation of Atlanta's first responders, and it will be forged forever. They will learn to work under pressure, work as one, and emerge ready to meet any challenges that they may face in our city. And they'll do it using the best resources that are available today. Simulated burn buildings, live scenario villages, advanced EMS and rescue training labs, cutting-edge virtual reality training tools, and last and certainly not least, our wellness center on site to help them through the training process. This is an investment not just in the city's infrastructure, but in our recruits who will walk the streets and they will be ready to serve our citizens. It will help our current members who currently lead with courage and skill. And in our future, this facility will support the training needs for our city for many, many years to come. Let this center represent a symbol of readiness and resilience and remembrance. And let us inspire to keep reaching higher for our city, for our neighbors, and for each other. To our community leaders and partners, and everyone who made this vision a reality, I say thank you again. Your support has created more than just a training center. You've helped build a stronger and safer Atlanta. The future of our public safety starts here, so let's continue to follow our mayor's direction and move Atlanta forward with one safe city. Thank you.
Norfolk Southern's Chief Legal Officer and Corporate Secretary, Jason Morris.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today for the grand opening of this incredible training center and to say a few words about what this means to us. This facility represents a major step forward in strengthening preparedness and enhancing coordination among the first responders to protect and serve the city of Atlanta and communities across Georgia. At Norfolk Southern, we understand that public safety requires sustained investment in the community and comprehensive and collaborative efforts across multiple fronts. Our commitment to public safety includes initiatives that address the root causes of crime and foster safe, thriving communities. And we're proud to support programs like the At Promise Youth Centers and other opportunities to invest in stable housing, youth deterrence, and crime victim rehabilitation and support. Safety is a core value at NS. With over 4,500 employees in Georgia, including Norfolk Southern police officers who work closely with Georgia law enforcement, and more than 1,000 customers in the state, our investments here are a cornerstone of our operations and support of the American economy. Our commitment to safety in the communities we serve extends to partnerships with first responders, like this. Through our Operation Awareness and Response Program, we trained more than 5,600 first responders nationwide last year, equipping them with the tools and knowledge to safely respond to rail-related incidents. As we celebrate today, we recognize that this facility is more than just a collection of buildings. It's a testament to our collective support for those who risk their lives every day. Police officers, firefighters, sheriff's deputies, 911 dispatchers, and all first responders, thank you. Your service is invaluable, and we are committed to ensure you have the tools and resources needed to respond to any situation, whether it's rail-related or not. Through our partnership with the Atlanta Police Foundation, we are excited to support the fire station and bring in a brand new safety train, which will provide hands-on, practical training for first responders and across all professions while becoming the permanent home of our operational awareness and response trainings in the metro Atlanta area. This new center will provide first responders with the training and experience needed to handle complex and high-pressure situations, while making them even more prepared to protect and serve the communities. As we celebrate this new center, I also want to acknowledge the tremendous leadership of Governor Brian Kemp, Attorney General Chris Carr, Mayor Andre Dickens, Chief Rod Smith, Chief Darren Schierbaum, Dave Wilkinson, and all our elected officials and community partners. Your support for this initiative and commitment to public-private collaboration is essential in achieving the vital safety goals, and your balanced, cooperative approach to solving difficult issues is one of the many reasons we're proud to call Georgia home. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you again for allowing us to be a part of this special day.
Atlanta's 26th Chief of Police, Darren Schierbaum.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is certainly glad to see you here today. And on behalf of all the women and men of the Atlanta Police Department, welcome to your Public Safety Training Center. It's an honor to be joined by our Governor and First Lady Kemp today. I'm not saying there's any competition between the state and the city, but recently we had the opportunity, the mayor and I, to visit the governor's mansion as we opened the new Georgia State Police Patrol. And we noticed there was a chicken coop there, and very nice kept, First Lady Kemp. And there was a sign calling it the first flock. And I've noticed ever since we've been there, the mayor has been calling our mounted patrol the first herd. Governor, you have some competition there between the city and the state. But thank you and for your strong support. Mayor Dickens and CEO Burks, I tell you what, for the last 3 years, I've seen you all work for the city. Mayor, I've seen your talent as an engineer be the forefront, but I've seen your compassion and heart as a public servant. And thank you for your leadership in getting us here today. President Shipman and all the members of the City Council, history will recount that you kept democracy alive in our City Hall. The voices were heard, but you held the line, and you remembered the men and women that go out every night to protect the city, and you backed our mayor and delivered the Public Safety Training Center. And I thank you for that. I want to welcome our Attorney General who is here today and his staff. John Fowler, I hope you got your jacket back from the mayor from that press conference. We will check on that. And the retired chiefs of the Atlanta Police Department that has laid the foundation today. And I hope Chief Bell, Chief Harbert, and Chief Bryant, that you've seen the legacy that you built, the legacy that you have inherited has been passed on to the next generation. And I hope you're proud of the young recruits that saw you here today, and we would not be here today if we're not for you. I want to welcome the many chiefs of police and the sheriffs that are here. I have my sheriff, Sheriff Labatt, that is present, Sheriff Maddox from the county, which end we set, many chiefs that are within the educational institutions of Atlanta. We appreciate your partnership. Colonel Hitchens from the Georgia State Patrol, leadership of the GBI, Department of Natural Resources, our friends at the FBI and the ATF that were key partners during this time, and the Georgia National Guard. There's a group that often does not get the proper praise, and that's our Atlanta Police Foundation. Because long before the 21st century policing was a buzzword in our nation, that group of men and women, the dedicated members of the Atlanta Police Foundation, was about the business of moving officers into the city, making us more educated, and advancing our training. So Dave Wilkinson, to you, your staff, and all of the Police Foundation Board, thank you for today. The mayor has mentioned Mr. Gorey and Jim Gorey. I always call them both Mr. Gorey, and I'm corrected quickly that there's Jim and Mr. Gorey. And I want to thank you both. The mayor has recounted to this gathering why you are an instrumental part of this campus. And I don't know how quickly it will take the Atlanta Police Department to get to Birmingham across I-20, but we will be there very quickly if you call on your police department. And thank you for investing in our men and women. And to Brent Scarborough and the staff of LS3P, and to everyone that has been a part of this, thank you. And while the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department are technically the host today, I want to acknowledge you. Every precinct of this city for 2 years had to send officers to this site 24 hours a day, which means if you weren't assigned here, wherever you were assigned, you were working harder. You answered more 911 calls than you would normally have. You picked up more investigative cases than you should have. And during that year and the year before that, we reduced crime each of those years. And last year, we hosted over 40 candidate visits to our city during the election year. And so the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department, I hope you are holding your head a little higher today. I hope there's a little bit of briskness in your step, because I want to thank you for sacrificing as we saw our elected officials and our civic partners stand for us, that you did your part. Thank you for that. Today is indeed a historic day, not only for the Atlanta Police Department and Atlanta Fire Rescue, but for the entire city of Atlanta. Historic because a generational need in our city's public safety infrastructure has been met. And historic because, yet again, as Coca-Cola did during the days of the Great Depression, the private sector and philanthropic community partnered with local government to invest in the safety of our city. And historic because unprecedented violence and criminal acts were overcome by a bipartisan, multi-jurisdictional partnership and effort. And I will tell you, there are police departments and sheriffs here, the Georgia State Patrol, the FBI, the ATF, police departments across this region, that the Atlanta Police Department owes a debt of gratitude to. Because when Antifa put out its call for individuals to rally here in this spot and on Peachtree Street from across the nation and literally the globe, we were up against a playbook we had never seen at the Atlanta Police Department. And we ourselves put out the call for help. And no sheriff said no, no police chief said no. The Georgia State Patrol, the Department of Natural Resources should side by side with this department, as did the FBI and the ATF, because we all knew that that playbook was successful here in Atlanta, Georgia. It would find itself across this country, and public safety would be stymied wherever we go. So thank you to our law enforcement partners for being here today and being with us for the last 2 years. Now, Pastor Smith, I'm not a gambling man, but in many quarters, the odds were that this day would never happen and the Public Safety Training Center would not and could not be built. And many of us know why that may have been the case, and this historic journey overcame many, many obstacles. And as I was recently on the campus watching our newest officers train and veterans of the department train, a verse from my faith came to mind. And I know, Mayor, you're a deacon in the church, so I'm not going to quiz you here. But that scripture was from the book of Hebrews, the first verse of the 11th chapter, that says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. And we bear witness today to the unshakable faith of many, who in actions great and small ensure this day would in fact occur, and the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center would become reality. Faith that even as smoke hung over this space on March 5th, 2023, and fires raged at the top of the hill, that the training center would be built. Faith that when police vehicles and a police precinct were ablaze, and construction equipment burned across Georgia and South Carolina, that the training center would be built. And faith that when our mayor and our elected officials had their safety and very lives threatened, as in members of the Atlanta Police Foundation Board, Brassfield Gorey, Brent Scarborough, and all the others, that the faith that this center would be built. And how fortunate we are that Providence gathered together at this time in our city's history, a hardy group of elected officials, civic leaders of noble stature, private sector patriots, and committed law enforcement leaders who never lost faith in the vital importance of this center. The hope for a public safety training center worthy of a name has been a long-standing vision of the Atlanta Police Foundation, who recognized over a decade ago that the state of our training facilities was affecting our ability to recruit and retain talent. And it was the Atlanta Police Foundation that embarked on one of its most consequential initiatives, the building of a joint fire and police training facility that would become the cornerstone of its mission to make Atlanta, Georgia, the safest large city in America. This hope was picked up by our mayor, Andre Dickens, who in a time when the rhetoric of the campaign trail often does not survive the halls of governance, never wavered in his commitment to the women and men of the Atlanta Police Department, that if you say yes to service in Atlanta, you will be provided the tools to be excellent whatever you're called upon to do, and to be trusted by the communities that you protect. A mayor who never wavered in his commitment to every citizen of Atlanta, that when you call 911, the firefighter and police officer who answers the call for help will have been trained to the highest standard of their respective profession. Arrayed around this gathering this morning are two manifestations of why our collective faith could not waver. Many of you have seen the memorial benches adorned with a red or blue stripe. Each bench represents a single police officer or firefighter of this city who has given their lives in the line of duty. Each bears a name and a date the ultimate sacrifice occurred. To my left, right here, is a bench bearing the name of Mark Cross, who 20 years ago this month gave his life for the city of Atlanta. when he was gunned down arresting Chief Williams, an armed felon in our city. It was on April 23rd, 2005 that we lost Mark Cross. That day, he left a 4-year-old son and a daughter who had just turned 2 the day before she lost her dad. 3 weeks ago, Mark's father and mother raised over this campus the Atlanta Police Department flag because we thought it was worthy of them to be present and that we remember the connection to their son. Officer Cross's memorial bench is just one of 88 on this campus that bears the blue stripe and joins the 54 memorial benches of the fallen firefighters of Atlanta. And it is through the work of this campus that we will honor their sacrifice, the sacrifice of 142 first responders, and through training, to send home at the end of each watch the officers and firefighters back to their families in an answer to the many prayers of their loved ones for that family member's safe return. Also arrayed today and bearing witnesses are the future of the fire and the police department. You were directed here today by recruits of both departments that said yes. You saw our sworn members and our civilian members, veterans of many years, all who have committed themselves to service, and it also for them and all who will follow in their footsteps why this gathering fought so hard and why the faith was kept. The work of these noble guardians will be carried out in all 245 of our city's neighborhoods. Their actions will be seen on the nightly news, read about in the AJC, highlighted on social media posts, and recounted at family gatherings. Acts of compassion and courage by members of the Fire and Police Department on this very campus, thanks to the faith, perseverance, fortitude, and of those that are gathered here today. And then there's one other group, Mr. Mayor, for we fought this fight, and that is the citizens of Atlanta. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the citizens of Atlanta expect when they call 911, someone is going to come. And they're going to be there very quickly. And they're going to know what they do when they arrive. And the only way that happens is through training. And when citizens of this city call 911, they should always take great pride that there were elected officials worthy of the name, that did not take the bait, did not buy the lie that citizens did not want a well-trained and well-equipped police force or fire department, that we did not want a training center. It is the Atlanta Public Training Center that will ensure that we recruit, equip, and retain the officers and firefighters necessary to keep this city safe. Since the construction of this facility began, and following key public safety investments by our mayor, supported by the city councils, 2 things have been occurring. And Atlanta Police Foundation Board, I want you to hear this. Our attrition has been improving markedly. Fewer people are leaving the organization, and our hiring is far exceeding our projections. And while the Atlanta Police Department has, in good years, started a recruit class every other month, 6 a year, this schedule is no longer sufficient to meet the ever-increasing number of new recruits. We informed the mayor last week that every month for the next 6 months, we will be starting a new police recruit class to keep track of the new individuals entering our organization. To everyone, our mayor, our COO, our city council, our state partners, our federal partners, our civic leaders, thank you. The Atlanta Police Department appreciates all you have done for us, and we will never shirk from our responsibility for you. Your faith in building the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center will leave an indelible mark on the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department, who for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, will stand in the space of chaos, danger, fear, and uncertainty for all Atlanta. I truly thank God for this day and pray that God will guide and protect all who serve in the Atlanta Police Department, keep his angels around them, and provide them the wisdom and courage to fulfill all their duties on every call. May God continue to bless our mayor in the city of Atlanta, continue to bless our governor in the state of Georgia, and all in the United States of America. Thank you.
Of Quick Trip Atlanta Division, Robert Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. I want to say it's definitely a privilege and an honor to join you all today, not just only as a 24-year employee of Quick Trip that started here in Georgia, but also as a member of the Atlanta Police Foundation Board. It's really an honor. So we do thank you all for coming out. At Quick Trip, safety is one of the top priorities for us, whether it be our employees, whether it be our customers, or the communities in which we serve. It's always at the top of our mind. We opened our first store here in Georgia back in 1986, and ever since that day, every year we always contribute 5% of our net profits back to the communities in which we live and work and serve in some form or fashion. So when we learned about the opportunity and we learned about the vision here for the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, we immediately saw it as an opportunity to make an investment and the long-term betterment of here, the city of Atlanta, as well as the surrounding municipalities. Early on, we contributed $500,000 to help make this facility and this center come to fruition. But it's more than a facility, right? This is truly a symbol of what it looks like when private sector and public sector and philanthropic all come together for the betterment of Georgia as well as the city of Atlanta. We're especially proud to be the naming sponsor for the Emergency Vehicle Operators course that hopefully you all will have a chance to visit later on today. This training course is going to provide our brave first responders with the critical training that they need to respond to situations in real life time and respond accordingly. Knowing that we were able to play a role in equipping those with life-saving training means a tremendous amount to us all. We also understand that public safety is not just the job of law enforcement. In order for it to be effective, it's a shared responsibility for all of us. And we're proud to stand alongside so many of the other public and private partners that are joining us here today to support a safer Atlanta. So on behalf of the 3,000 plus quick trippers here that work throughout the state of Georgia, we want to thank all of you all for coming out. On behalf of the Atlanta Police Foundation, again, we thank you all and really appreciate it. To all of our first responders out here, thank you. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate you putting your lives on the line every single day. So we hope when you're out there on the EVOC course and you see that quick trip sign, or if you're responding to a call and you drive by a quick trip and you see that button, we want to make sure that you guys understand we appreciate you and we stand with you all. Thank you.
CEO of H.J. Russell and Company and co-chair of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center Capital Campaign, Michael Russell Sr.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Again, Michael Russell, CEO of H.J. Russell and Company and chair of the Atlanta Committee for Progress and proud co-chair of the APF's Public Safety First campaign. It's a privilege to stand here today, and not just in these roles I just mentioned, but as someone that has called Atlanta my home my entire life. This public safety training facility is proof of what's possible when the public and private sectors unite around a shared mission to build a safer city for all Atlantans. When we launched this campaign, our goal was to raise $90 million. Thanks to the incredible collaboration, we've raised over $150 million. That deserves a hand. Now, that number represents more than funding. It's a clear message from the business and civic communities that we are all in. The leaders across Atlanta's business and philanthropic sector stepped up, not for headlines, but because we all understand public safety is the backbone of a growing and secure city. As co-chair of this campaign, I've seen what's possible when leadership is aligned around meaningful impact. Every officer and firefighter who trains here will leave better prepared, and every neighborhood in this city will benefit from that preparation. To my co-chair, Alex Taylor, and to every partner who made this possible, thank you. You didn't just meet the moment, you raised the bar and set a national standard. It has been an honor to co-chair this campaign from 2022 to 24. Thank you. And now I'm proud to introduce my friend and partners in this work, Dave Wilkerson, President and CEO of the Atlanta Police Foundation.
Well, thank you, Michael, and good morning, everyone. What a great day to be in Atlanta. How about that young lady that sang the national anthem? Mr. Mayor, that is one of our At Promise youth. Yeah. Sang the national anthem today. Wasn't she great? You know, I have a saying, and some of you have already heard me say this, so bear with me, but history has shown in this country that all great things are hard, right? And all hard things take what? They take great leadership, right? And you've heard a lot about that today, but please bear with me because I need to really talk a little bit about the leadership that made this all possible today. In fact, we talk about things being hard. When the first raindrop came down, Governor, I thought, you know, that's the good Lord again, just sending one more little hurdle our way before we open this thing, right? So, but it starts with our mayor and our governor, right? Obviously on both sides of the political aisle, but for them to have come together to rally and support this, along with my good friend, the Attorney General Chris Carr, and all the state legislator, our city council members, my good friend Joyce Shepard, thank you for being here today, to come together in spite of the adversity to push this thing to the finish line. It's so inspiring to me. And I just want to thank everybody for being part of that. I also want to hearken back a little bit as I get more granular on the leadership. Russ Harden sitting here on the front row, and the Woodruff Foundation, Nancy Rigby and Sarah Kennedy on the front row. And this could not have happened without us sitting down with Russ and Eric and the team at the Woodruff Foundation, Alex Taylor and the folks at the Cox Foundation, and coming together and saying, let's do this, right? Let's do this for our city, right? This is that important to our city. And so we don't share the recognition of those groups very often. I'm not even sure if they want me to say their names here in front of the crowd here, but I could not speak up here without mentioning that. I also want to thank Michael, the members of the campaign cabinet that helped us raise all the money, all the CEOs. Many of you are here today. I thank you so much. I also want to recognize our APF Board of Trustees, John O'Neill, our chairman, somewhere here in the crowd, Robin Loudermilk, all the board members basically that have been so critical to our success. I want to thank all the other foundations, the corporations, the individuals, everybody that's given to this. And I know this is being a little repetitive. You've heard this today, but it's so incredibly important that everybody leave here today really realizing how much leadership really went into this critically important project for our city. Mr. Gorey, Jim, you guys talked about this, the keys to it, Woodruff, Cox, and Brassfield and Gorey coming together to do this. This would not have been done without that. And I'll thank you every day the rest of my life for what you guys did for this training center. The chief mentioned all the federal, state, local law enforcement leaders that have come together. Allison Clark, wherever you are, Allison here in the crowd, the members of the Community Stakeholder Advisory Committee. So inspirational for you all to come together and do what you did. I also want to recognize Alan Williams, and I want to recognize all the members of the Atlanta Police Foundation staff. It's been a tough year, tough couple of years for the APF staff, but we could not have a better team, and I'm proud of what they do day in and day out. Next, if I could, I want to make a turn here just to say that we had 3 board members this year that unfortunately passed away, and we're not able to see this incredible project to fruition. Jenny Pruitt, Walt Amer, and Mark Giuliano. For purposes of time, I'm not going to read the bios of each because I think everybody here knows the 3 of those. But we miss them every day and just certainly wish they could have been here today for sure. And so I want to introduce today, if I could, Mark Giuliano's wife, Judy, his son, David, his daughter, Erin, as well as Marty Flanagan and Mark's Invesco team. I think you guys are here somewhere in the crowd. There he is, Marty there in the Invesco team. And if I could ask you guys to stand and be recognized just a minute as a round of applause for Mark and all his leadership for the city of Atlanta. And I want to announce also that the main drive leading into the Public Safety Training Center will forever be known as Mark Giuliano Trail. Judy, everyone that enters this facility now and forever will see Mark's name and be reminded what a tremendous leader he was for our city and for the Police Foundation and the Police Department. And so thank you so very much for being here today to share that with us. Next, Walt Amer, his wife Kara, and his daughter Leslie. Where are you at, Kara? So, okay, there you are. In honor of Walt's legacy as a leader for the city of Atlanta here for the Police Foundation, we have planted a tree right in front of this leadership center right here in Walt's honor, so that everyone that enters this leadership center forever will be reminded of what Walt meant to the city of Atlanta, to the Police Foundation, and the business community here in Atlanta. So Kara and Leslie, if you guys could stand and be recognized by the crowd as well. And lastly, we all know Jenny Pruitt. Her family couldn't be here today, but what a fantastic leader Jenny was for the APF and for our city, and I miss her every day. As most of you know, Jenny was an avid dog lover and gave to many causes to save dogs and cats in Atlanta. In her honor, we have named one of the K9 dog kennels in Jenny's honor to show our appreciation for her and all that she meant to our city. So please join me in a round of applause for Jenny. And guys, some of this has been talked about, but in closing, I'm going to say very quickly that how proud we are of this moment, how proud I am of this moment. You know, I'm proud to say that we have built a model training center. Chief Schierbaum said some major city chiefs were here the other day, and they were all blown away by this facility and they all agreed it was the finest training center in the country. We also have created the model public-private partnership for public safety training centers anywhere in the country. The mayor mentioned the total cost was $118 million. The city spent $31 million, and the rest of that was done through philanthropy. We're really proud of that. Nashville, the mayor talked about it would cost at least $300 million to build this. Nashville's building a very similar training center for $415 million. One chief said to Chief Schierbaum, we spent over $300 million and we didn't get half of this. So we're very proud of that, and it was made possible by the undaunting spirit and combination of leadership and philanthropy that can only be done here in Atlanta, and it inspires me every day. I'm also proud of the fact that we've created a one-of-a-kind training center that's committed and dedicated to the community. The training center was designed with community input every step of the way. Allison Clark, members of the CSAC, the mayor's task force, and the goal was to take this, what was an eyesore and a dump for the community, and turn it into an asset for the neighborhoods that surround it. In fact, as Russ knows well, the Community Stakeholder Advisory Committee made 12 material recommendations to the final plan. Without hesitation, at a cost of $10.7 million, we adhered to every one of those recommendations to make sure the community got exactly what they deserved here in the center. And we're very proud of that. So we've really created a sort of a campus and a park that will serve the community for generations to come. And then lastly, I just want to mention that the reason for building the training center, as the mayor and the chief both alluded to, was really about creating a safer city. And I just want you all to leave here today knowing this: it worked. It worked. I won't go through the statistics, but crime's down dramatically, morale's up, retention, recruitment, hiring are at all-time levels here in the city of Atlanta. And I could not be more proud of all that. And so thank you all so very much for being here today, so very much for being part of this. Looks like the rain's going to join us again here as well. But in closing, no, it's a game changer for the city of Atlanta. We have done a 180 from what we saw just a couple of years ago here in this city, and we are on our way to, as the chief said, make this the safest large city in America. So we're now joining us for the ribbon cutting.
We've all been waiting for, the presentation of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center seal and the ribbon cutting. Holding the ribbon, AFRD Section Chief of Training, Christopher Grimaldi, and APD's Deputy Chief of Professional Development Division, Jessica Bruce.
Yes, sir. Inside. Okay. Everybody good? Yeah, it is.
Before you leave, please stop by the golf store located inside the Leadership Building. There you can purchase Atlanta Public Safety Training Center merchandise.
Do we have umbrellas? Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Media, we can go ahead and break down, and then we're going to go inside the building straight ahead. Okay?
Are we going to cut this?
Higher. Hold the umbrellas up higher, please.
No.
Hold them up higher.
Hey, Grace, so we get on this? Yeah. I can't see anything.
Oh, I know. No one can see it. I mean, that was the... But hold on just 1 second, and we're going to all break down, and then... Sorry about the...
Be certain to visit the leadership building and the first floor of